the quickest way to the other side is through, right? But while we're going through, we have to have that joy. We don't want to wait till we get to the other side to say, okay, now I'm going to be happy. Like, I have to celebrate my life, even if things are not the way that I want them to be. So good evening, everyone. Get myself comfortable. Bringing all the pillows nice and close. So I really don't have much of an agenda for this conversation, but I wanted to come on here and just chat a little bit tonight. I was feeling frustrated about some things, so I was like, okay, I'll just hop on YouTube and just talk a little bit and share my thoughts about some things that are going on. This week has not been that great of a week for me. It hasn't. But the thing is, I've had great conversations with people at work. I've had great conversations with mentors. So nothing's been wrong, but it has just felt like, even like the last couple of weeks have really felt like just the weeks are just kind of flying by and nothing is happening, and getting a little bit frustrated with that. And when I say nothing's happening, I mean, like, I don't feel like I'm progressing in life. I know I am, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in school, doing well in school, and I'll be graduating next year in January or February, somewhere in that time frame. So I know I'm progressing towards that goal, but it does feel like things are slowing down, or it just feels like I'm going through like a cycle. And I don't know, I wonder if anybody else feels like that. Maybe it's just with everything else that's going on in the world, I'm starting to feel a sense of, I don't know, like everything is just kind of flat, like nothing exciting is happening. And so I wish I can come in here and be like, oh, this happened and I'm going here and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, but I don't have that. I don't have that to share right now. And I think that is actually an important thing, or an important topic to discuss, because a lot of times we feel like, or we'll look at other people who maybe are out doing exciting things on YouTube or on social media, and they'll be out and they'll be on vacations and they'll be in this country and they'll be doing this and they'll be doing that. But that's not always the reality of even the people who show you that. A lot of times people may record multiple things and then they just upload them all at one time, or maybe it is their reality right now, but maybe down the road it won't be, or maybe it wasn't before. And so I think that we got to be careful about judging where we're at versus where somebody else is at. And that might be part of why I'm starting to feel like, why I'm feeling a little bit of discouragement, is because I'm probably paying too close attention to what everybody else is doing. I have a lot of stuff on my plate. I have a lot of things that I'm trying to accomplish in a short amount of time, but even in grinding it out, you know, the weeks just kind of keep going by, and I feel like I don't feel a sense of accomplishment, I guess is what I'm saying. So one thing I know is that we can't always rely on our feelings. You know, our feelings, how we feel, may sometimes not be the best indicator of where we are in a certain process. Like, we may be 2 or 3 steps from success, or what we deem to be successful, and it may not feel like that. It may feel like we are down in the valley and in the trenches, but we may be feeling discouraged and we're just a few steps away from where we want to be, but we don't recognize that. So I've made a conscious decision to keep pushing even though it feels very discouraging. I have days where I wake up and I'm like, there's a couple of levers I could pull, so to speak, where financially I would be in a much, much, much better place. Also, I could geographically be in a different place. And I feel like I would be much happier. However, I don't feel like that's the right step. I don't feel like that's the right step right now. So I want to stay where I am and just grind through it. And I was thinking earlier about how life is often lived through seasons, and how the quickest way to get through a season that you don't like is to actually go straight through it. And they say like the quickest way from point A to point B is a direct path, right? So go directly from point A to point B, like whatever that straightest line is to that, and you just kind of go through it. You have to learn how to have peace while you're going through it. Try your best not to be frustrated as you're going through it, and just keep pushing, even when it seems discouraging, even when you feel like life is mundane or flat, for lack of a better term. But you just keep going and keep pushing through it. And so that's what I'm doing in this particular season. But I don't know, I know in past videos I talked about the movie Straw, I gave a review on that, and my life is nowhere near anything like that. And in fact, I have a pretty great life. But I do recognize that there will come a time, probably towards the very end of this season that I'm in right now, I'm sure that there's going to come a time where I feel like I can't take it. I'm not there right now, and when I say I can't take it, I don't mean anything super dark or anything like that, but the pressure really comes on before you tend to come out on the other side of things. But this is not the first time. When I reflect, this is not the first time that I've gone through this particular type of season where it feels like I'm in a holding pattern. So I've been here before, you know what I mean? And you come out on the other side much better than you were before. So I'm gonna keep pushing. If you can relate to this video, I hope it made sense what I shared, because I'm just talking. I didn't really have any talking points. I usually try to make sure that I am prepared and focused as I'm having these types of conversations, because I know I can go off on bunny trails sometimes as I'm speaking. But for this particular video, I just wanted to turn the camera on and just speak with you all about where I was at in my life and how I'm feeling. And maybe there's somebody else out there who's feeling the same way that I am. And I would just say, let's just keep pushing through. But what I will say before I go is that as you're going through, I'm not even saying difficult times, I'm really kind of talking to people who maybe are feeling that mundane or like feeling stuck. So if you're feeling that way, that's kind of what I'm talking about here. But as we go through this, what I'm trying to keep in mind is that I cannot let myself waste a day or waste a week or waste a month, right? So even though I'm going through these types of emotions and these types of feelings, it's like, okay, I gotta make sure that I continue to have a sense of joy and a sense of peace, a sense of happiness, right? Making sure that I get out the house and engage with others, making sure that I am having a good time with my life, right? And so even though it feels very flat, I'm still very intentional about experiencing a sense of joy. I'm going to turn on something funny to make myself laugh. I'm going to engage with people when I'm out and about as if I was an extrovert when I'm not. I'm going to force myself to do these things because I do not want to waste my life away or try to wait for the new season to start. So it's like the quickest way to the other side is through, right? But while we're going through, we have to have that joy. We don't want to wait till we get to the other side to say, okay, now I'm going to be happy. you don't want to wait till you're making the type of money that you want to make until you decide to be happy, or you don't want to wait until you get in the relationship that you want to get in to be happy. Like, you just need to learn to be happy in the midst of what it is you're going through, or learn to find that joy or that peace in the midst of what you're going through. And I know that may not be possible for everybody based upon different people's circumstances, but I just am determined not to waste a day being discouraged, even if it's a situation where like bills are piling up, or maybe you've lost your job. Like, I've been through that before, or maybe you just aren't happy. Maybe there's a bit of depression there, but get help if you need to get help, but also do the best you can. And it's not to mask anything, but it's just to say that I can't wait until things are perfect to celebrate my life. Like, I have to celebrate my life even if things are not the way that I want them to be. So that's where my mind is. That's what I've been thinking about, and I thought I would share it with you all. Hope it makes sense. Anyways, if you're feeling this way, or you can relate to this video, drop me a comment. I would love to hear from you. Peace.